Guess what? We found Harriet P. Harrison tonight, and many of you have heard her on our radio broadcast, but she's here live at the 2009 Discover New You Retreat. How are you doing, Harriet?
I am doing great tonight. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
And glad to have you here. Now tell us, first of all, about your passion and everything that is that you do.
Okay, my passion in life is definitely women, broken women, women that is healing from their past wounds of emotions, mental, physical, financially, and spiritually depleted. So my passion is to help these women with spiritual healing and wholeness and development for their lives now.
Okay. So while you're here, what is it that you're looking to do, or how are you looking to uplift the women and just kind of boost them up?
Well, the way I see it, with all the things that's going on in life right now, I'm coming to bring a spiritual word from God. Right now, a lot of people are looking for a word of encouragement, a word that will uplift their spirits, a word that will even challenge them to make some different choices in their own lives right now, and a word that will inspire them, that will just inspire everything around them to change the whole nature of just the things that they're doing right now, because that's what's going on. We got change in the world right now, and so they got to understand, in order to get something different, they got to change, and they have to change the way they think, the way they feel about things. So that's what I'm going to bring to the ladies.
Okay. And hearing you say that, I know that there's an importance to you of spiritual health and being implemented in one's daily life. So let's talk about that for a minute, the importance of spiritual health being implemented in one's daily life.
Spiritual healing, when I talk about spiritual health, I'm talking about spiritual healing. And I'm talking about spiritual healing from our Creator. I'm talking about the spiritual healing that Jesus Christ came to give all of us. And what has happened, we learn about salvation, but we don't understand that we need Him also to heal us in these emotional areas. Women are having nervous breakdowns now. It's so many women are facing mental stress. Women are finding themselves single parents more now, so which is bringing on financial problems with them. And so with all that said, the physical body is falling apart, and they don't understand how to have a connection with their Creator. So with all of that, there's no spiritual health involved, and there's no spiritual healing, there's no spiritual wholeness, and no development. So that's what I want to help them in that area.
And so my mind goes back to that person that's dealing with low self-esteem, you know, and I know we only have about a minute or so left, but in that time frame, if you could really feel that person, what would you say to them?
My goal, my mission, and my purpose is to bring that woman into a relationship, to show her to give her effective tools, and to give her things that she can take from the Word of God, implement it into her everyday life, and just make it where it's tangible for her to see it, because a lot of times if we can't see it, it's hard for us to receive it. So I'm here to help her come into a relationship, just start on the pathway of having that relationship with Him, and then He'll do the rest.
Okay. And for that one that's not here, what would you say to her?
For the woman that's not here,
what would you say to her?
I would tell you, sister, that you need Christ and you need Him for your healer, and I would tell you to let go and let God be God in your life from this day forward. That's what I would tell you.
Thank you, Miss Harriet. Harriet P. Harrison. And listen, keep your eyes on this show, because you'll just see so much that's going on. And we've had such wonderful people here, like Harriet P. Harrison, who's inspiring you to be the best that you can be, especially in your spiritual health. Don't you go anywhere, because we're still not through yet. We'll see you right after this. Well, we're back, and we're here with none other than Andrea Howell. This is her first year with us at the 2009 Discover New You Retreat. I shouldn't say her first time at the 2009, but just at Discover New You Retreat. And we're so glad to have you here. Oh, now, what inspired you to come be with us this year?
Well, Shaquilla sent me an email, and I just looked over everything, and I'd never been to a retreat before, and I thought this would be a nice experience. So I wanted to come.
Great. We're glad you came. And you have the Joel Lawrence Foundation. Many that probably heard the radio broadcast heard you on there, and maybe they didn't. So I want you to tell us what inspired you to begin that foundation.
Joel. Joel inspired me to start the foundation. He asked me to take care of children that were HIV positive or had AIDS like him, that were abandoned and nobody wanted, and they ended up in nursing homes. So he asked me to care for children like him.
Wow. And a lot of them may not have the history of it, but Joel also wrote a letter to the Tom Joyner Show. And will you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, Joel, to give you a little bit of history, Joel was adopted twice and given up twice, and he was abandoned at the hospital. And he was abused just about all his life. And so when Joel came into my life, he experienced love for the first time unconditionally. And it was Tom Joyner has this Thursday Morning Mom, I think it's called, and he would listen to it, and he said, I'm going to write the letter. I don't really know how it came about, but he wanted to write the letter, and he wrote this letter to Tom Joyner, and it was just a letter of appreciation, for me, how I took him into a home, because at 13 he was ready to go into a nursing home.
So, and I know how the story kind of went. We talked about this on the other broadcast, that there was never a response to the letter. Did you still haven't had a response?
No, I haven't had a response, and I emailed Tom Joyner on several occasions, and about 2 months ago, I received a letter from him, and it just said, sorry, we can't respond to all the wishes. But I'm thinking he didn't read the letter, because Joel passed away 3 years ago. And in the letter now, it says, if you just read his letter. That's all he wanted. He's deceased now. If you just read his letter, I don't want anything. That's all he wanted, for people to hear, the letter. So I don't think he read it, because I really wasn't asking for anything. I just wanted him to read the letter on the air. And so the letter came back and said, we sorry, we can't respond. So I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Yeah, it sounds like it was automated. We're not trying to trash Tom. We love Tom. But I don't know, sometimes when you have an organization like that things don't really get through the hands. I mean, we understand. But hopefully, even now, and I'm going to pray about that myself, that really gets through to him, so he'll see, because there's so many others that need to hear about that. And then you have the Joel Lawrence Foundation. People can donate to it. Why don't you tell us how they can donate to it? And I want to say this before you even go there, that just sitting here, and I talked to you on the air before, but we never met, but I can feel that passion that you had for him, and it's wonderful, because a lot of foster children, they don't get that, so you're a jewel, and I mean that. I can feel you. Okay, well, how can people donate?
Well, I have a website. It's called the Joel Lawrence Foundation, and I have several pages that you can go to, and one of the pages is called Giving, and you can donate there. And I have the PayPal, or you can just call me. And I'm always looking for volunteers for all different type of events I have on. But that's how you can donate, and of your time and money, because not just I'm trying to get a home for children living with HIV and AIDS. I would like to continue my free services that I do in the community with free HIV testing, education, educational groups, and I would like to keep that going on.
And I'll say this, there is truly a need in the state of Florida alone. I mean, Florida is not one of the largest states, but it's probably like number 3, I want to say, or something like that, with statistics of HIV. Number 1 in pediatric. Oh my goodness. And so if you hear that, and here's someone with a passion to make a difference in the lives of children who are dealing with HIV, it's bad enough to be an adult dealing with something like that, but to be a child, so please get in contact with her, Miss Andrea Howell.